Hey guys, your boy Shaw Bellamy back with you with a brand new podcast episode. This is episode 3 of my podcast called Jack of All Plays, where I cover football, basketball, and baseball topics I want to go over that happen throughout the week. So again, I appreciate the support, you guys, and let's get right into it. Like I said, this is episode 3 of Jack of All Plays. Starting here with the NBA. NBA released information from their investigation against Robert Sarver and the Phoenix Suns. So on November 4th, 2021, an article was released on ESPN.com regarding statements and conduct of Robert Sarver, who is the managing partner of the Phoenix Suns and the WNBA's Phoenix Mercury. So this guy is very heavily involved with Phoenix stuff and Phoenix Suns. And like I said, investigation was going on against Robert Sarver. They did find a lot of stuff that was very inappropriate, disgusting, and stuff like that. But we'll get right into it. I guess I got my phone right here with all the findings. Well, some of the findings that they found. We'll go over, like I said, in a second. 320 individuals, which included former and current employees that have worked with Sarver over it's been there was some employees that worked for 10 plus years and stuff like that. But like I said, there's 320 people. 320 people, man. That's a lot of goddamn people. And like I said, these are former and current employees. Spoke on Sarver. The league found that Sarver was engaged in conduct that clearly violated common workplace standards, which is a very nice way of just saying it was a very, like I said, when we go over the stuff that they found, like I guess I don't know if this is all the things they found when I read them, but it's just a weird, I don't know, not say it's a weird way, but it's just a professional way of saying he was just absolutely disgusting in the workplace. Saying conduct that clearly violated common workplace standards. But like I said, we'll go over these findings right now. I got them pulled up on my phone here. The NBA's Robert Sarver investigation found that he talked about a sexual act in condoms at all employee meetings. Like every employee meeting they had, he brought up about sexual acts in condoms. Why? He told a blowjob story in a business meeting. He told an entire staff during a business meeting. Okay. He told a female employee, this is his words, and I quote, "You've never seen anything this big while preparing to take a shower at team facility." He told a female employee that. They also found that he emailed pornography to a small group of male employees, dropped his underwear unnecessarily while a male employee was performing a fitness check on him, danced pelvis to pelvis with male employee at a holiday party, and there's more. He asked a female employee if she got an upgrade and was talking about her breast. And the last thing that they have wrote on here, told a pregnant employee that she couldn't continue an assignment because her baby needs their mom, not their father. Now you would think after all those findings, something like that, I'm pretty sure there was more. These are the most ones I dug up that a lot of people were just talking about. You would thought the punishment would be pretty big. You know what I mean? You thought the NBA, again, this is the world we live in, though. Of course, that did not happen. Adam Silver and the NBA decided the only thing they decided to do was, and I got it written down here, is to only fine Robert Sarver $10 million in a 1-year suspension. So after the stuff I read to you, and again, you can go on Google and search this up. It's pretty easy to research yourself. After all of that, he got a $10 million fine, which I'm pretty sure he could pay like that, and a 1-year suspension. I don't understand. What is the point of releasing that to the public and letting everyone know how disgusting and just stupid some of these people are? But to do that, to give him only 1 year and $10 million fine, that's what it was. It was a slap on the wrist. You cannot tell me that punishment or fits the crime that he did. You can actually talk about this man possibly should be arrested. Sexual harassment in the workplace and all that stuff they tell you not to do when you sign up to the job in the first place. It's at every job, every orientation, what you should not be doing. Everything I read to y'all was completely inappropriate, disgusting, and Listen, LeBron James spoke out, Chris Paul spoke out, tons of players and people around the world were speaking out like, yo, that's all y'all gave him was a $10 million fine and a 1-year suspension. That is just, it's not just NBA, but when it sports, NFL, NBA, whatever league you support, when it comes to these like investigations that last like months and sometimes years, and then when they release this stuff out, and you're like, yo, okay, they did their homework, they did what they're supposed to do, they did all the investigating. The punishments never ever fit the crime. Either they give players or a certain owner or GM maybe too much punishment, punishment way too harsh for something that's not that big of a deal, or in some case like this where they just give, like I said, a slap on the wrist for something that is clearly disgusting and unnecessary in a work environment. 320 people spoke on this. This is former and current employees. Not like just 10, 20 people step forward and you could try to, and people go back like, oh, maybe they're lying. 320 people. And those are very specific findings. But yes, Robert Sarver to get $10 million fine, in a 1-year suspension. Again, it did not fit the crime at all, dude. I don't understand that. Like, so you could argue the man deserves to be arrested. I don't have much else to say on that before I move on. But it's not surprising when you hear about stuff like this from about GMs. Again, it could be an NFL, it could be an NBA, Major League Baseball. It doesn't matter, dude. GMs and owners, for some weird reason, these old dudes that own these teams or are partners with these teams, just some disgusting shit is always behind the scenes, yo. It's disgusting. I don't know. You could call it in conduct in the workplace and all that shit. It's disgusting, bro. It just absolutely makes no fucking sense. How do some of these people, these grown men, act? You got all this money. You got stock in this team. You know what I mean? It's a good job to have. It's a good thing to own a certain. I don't understand why some people behave in the way they do. Like that wasn't going to come out one day, dude. 320 people. 320 fucking people said this. Like, that's crazy. And like I said, I'm pretty sure there's more, but those are the main ones that I want to point out because, dude, why drop your pants when it's unnecessary? Why? It's just really a lot of whys. But why would you say to a female employee, you never seen nothing this big? Why you about to? Just stupid. Stupid. It's just absolutely dumb, man. Again, he could be throwing away your career and everything, your reputation for nothing. And like I said, LeBron spoke out, Chris Paul spoke out, tons of other GMs and owners of teams in the NBA want him gone. And who knows what the NBA is going to do, but for them to just give him a $10 million fine and a 1-year suspension, that shit does not hold up at all. It doesn't make sense. If that was a player, the player would have been out the league as fast you would snap your fingers. There's no reason or no way you can say to me and try to convince me that punishment made sense. It's disgusting, man. Who the hell would want to work with someone like that? Moving on, you guys, here in the NBA. Dennis Schroeder, the point guard, free agent point guard, signed to the Los Angeles Lakers. The free agent point guard signed and returned to the Lakers to a 1-year, $2.64 million deal. It's obviously crazy if you've been following Dennis Schroeder's career at this point. He's a solid point guard who can shoot, play a little defense here and there, scrappy dude. Like he's really a guy that you would love to have on your team. Guy you would hate to play against. Like he's not a trash talker or anything like that, but he really does add a spark plug to your team. Like I said, it's crazy though if you pay attention to his career because he actually left the Lakers, I believe it was a few years ago, 2-3 years ago, for more money. I think he was looking for an $80 million contract. He did end up getting that. I think he ended up going to the Celtics the year before, last year, and he had some good games here and there, but it didn't work out. And like I said, it's crazy because he wanted all this money and he wanted the Lakers to pay him like a starting point guard, like a superstar point guard. And the Lakers said no, and all of a sudden it's like he's crawling back to the Lakers for this 1-year, $2.64 million deal, which is a huge difference before with his asking price before to continue playing for the Lakers. But like I said, Schroeder is a nice pickup for the Lakers. He can shoot. Like I say, he is a spark plug off the bench or whatever you want to put him in. And I think the Lakers did, so I do like the signing. So the Lakers now, when you look at their roster, they have Russell Westbrook, Patrick Beverley, and Dennis Schroeder as their point guards as far as playing time is concerned. You could argue amongst yourselves where y'all believe the playing time minutes is going to go to, who deserves to start. And I'm pissed off about this move again. If for people that don't know, Russell Westbrook is my favorite player. Trust me, I know. I sometimes I want to pull my hair out with the shit that he does, and how stubborn he can be again. But I still believe he is definitely, regardless if you want to look at it, me being biased, I definitely believe he does not deserve all the hate he's getting. How people think he's overrated because of like maybe one fucking bad season. Again, I'm not saying he's the perfect point guard. I'm not saying he's better than Steph Curry or Kyrie Irving and all these other point guards you may want to name. But I still think Russell Westbrook at his age can definitely be a good point guard. But yes, I do agree that he has these situations where he has to be willing to, definitely change his game, because we obviously know at this point he's just not a shooter in the spot up shooter, anything that the Lakers are trying to make him be. And it really is frustrating sometimes watching that. But yes, I've been frustrated with the stupid trade rumors that hasn't stopped regarding the Lakers let go of Russ, and this pickup of Dennis Schroeder does not help. Every time I get on a Bleacher Report article, or I go to ESPN.com, or just going through Facebook or Twitter, and you just constantly see all these different sports outlets and networks, or not networks, but media, basically put out these articles like, hey, the Lakers are looking to get this guy and this guy for Russell Westbrook. And then it turns out not to be true. That's why you call them stupid trade rumors, because everyone's just trying to get their likes and reactions out of people over these stupid ass trade ideas. And again, because the Lakers have no luxury, and because how Russell Westbrook looks right now at his age, and the salary and the money that he's getting is more so the money he's earning. I think it's like $47 million or something like that. A lot of teams are not going to be able to pay for a guy that age who seems like he's on a decline throughout as far as the rest of his career. Again, I believe Russ could still be a good point guard on a championship team. But there's one thing I definitely think it's also, I guess, change. I think the Lakers just need to use him in a different way than try to make him a spot-up shooter, because as we have seen, that's just not him. There was a rumor also that did come out. Again, it could just be another stupid rumor, but a rumor that the Lakers are thinking of bringing Russell Westbrook off the bench, which I think could be good. If they bring in a Dennis Schroeder and Patrick Beverley, they believe Russ could actually come off the bench with one of those guys or whatever. I think this is a good idea. The only problem with this is no one expects Russell Westbrook to accept this. I don't know, but I wish I had his ear. I know he don't probably, I mean, obviously, I'm nobody. I'm not saying he would care what I have to say, but I really wish someone in Russell Westbrook's camp would really say, Russ, why don't you go to the GM, Rob Plinka and them dudes, or anyone, just Jeannie Buss, it don't matter, and to the coach, and say, look, what if I just come off the bench? I really believe Russell Westbrook coming off the bench for the Lakers would be very good for them, because then you could just let him be who he wants to be, as far as, obviously, take, smart shots and don't turn the ball over and stuff like that. I'm not saying let him be, crazy. But if he got a chance to run with the second unit and play point guard, because we all know LeBron's going to play point guard, which I don't get why they got all these. Again, I think it's a solid pickup by the Lakers getting Dennis Schroeder, but all these point guards they got on the team is ridiculous when you know LeBron James is going to be the main ball handler. And that doesn't fit Russell Westbrook's game at all. I personally believe if you're going to have Russell Westbrook out there with Anthony Davis and LeBron, let Russ run the point guard position. Let him, not him be like the first option. I'm not saying like he should automatically get more, shots up than LeBron and AD. But to have him be a spot up shooter the way the Lakers wanted him to be, it's not going to work. It's just not his game. He should be attacking the basket, get into the free throw line and stuff like that. And that's how he should do. I'd rather Russ miss 100 freaking layups than this man take 5-6 3-point shots. I'm serious. I'm not trying to be funny. He's just not a good shooter. And it's okay. You just got to do things that play more to your strengths. And again, I think he needs to understand that, and the Lakers also need to understand that. But if that rumor is true, getting Dennis Schroeder is a way for, hey, Dennis will play be point guard one, Patrick Beverley and Russ will both come off the bench, or however you want to spin it. I think Russ coming off the bench would definitely help this team. I think Russ coming off the bench would be great. Because, again, he's running the offense like he did back in OKC, and it worked for him and the teams he played with. So yeah, I think that's gonna happen. But again, you guys, like I said, I made this whole thing about Russell Westbrook. But again, the pickup for Dennis Schroeder, it's a big one because if you, like I said, it doesn't stop this stupid ass trade rumors. There was also because after as soon as Dennis Schroeder signed, there was a rumor that went out, and I don't think it's shit's true at all, that Russ sold his LA house or whatever. So everyone's like, oh yeah, he's on his way out. It just gets to the point. It just gets people talking, and it's fucking annoying. I just want the season to start already, and hopefully Russ is with the Lakers. Again, I know some people say Sean's a bad fit, and I agree with them. But it's frustrating because I still want to see this man win a championship, dude. I know if he doesn't win a championship, he won't be validated. People just continue to hate on him. It's just some love for Russell Westbrook, man. I really, yeah, he don't deserve the shit that he gets, man. It's just so stupid. But again, like I said, you guys, Dennis Schroeder did sign back with the Lakers. Like I said, I do think it's a good pickup, but man, they got a lot of goddamn point guards on their team, especially if you're counting LeBron. Moving on, you guys. Here, again, that was NBA as far as news of the week here on Jack of All Plays, episode 3. Moving on here to NFL news. To say what I want to go over here, Jack of All Plays. Here in NFL, former quarterback Brett Favre involved in welfare scandal. Phone text was revealed this week that a former Mississippi governor and a Hall of Fame quarterback, Brett Favre, funneled at least $5 million in welfare funds to Brett Favre's daughter's soccer program. He funneled $5 million, Brett Favre did, in welfare funds to for his daughter's soccer program, and I guess for a new soccer facility, as I believe they said in the article. The money, the $5 million, was supposed to go to helping poor families. Helping poor families, and he was taking that, like I said, to help his daughter's soccer program. Farve did speak out and say he did not know it was welfare money that he was taking from poor families, and he also said, he said he didn't know, but he also said he didn't do anything wrong. I don't believe that. Again, I'm pretty sure there's an investigation going on, but if just on face value, I don't believe that. Brett Favre, since he's retired, has been, when you hear his name in the news or you see his name pop up anywhere, it just doesn't seem to be good things about Brett Favre. So I don't believe that. I do believe he knew it was going to it was welfare money. And yeah, I will say though, and I wrote this down, that when this news came out, some people had the reactions, me included, was like, dude, come on, man, you seem like a piece of shit. Like, why would you take money if this did happen? Why would you take money from money that was supposed to be going to helping poor families and get their lives better and all that good stuff? But then I saw a lot of reaction where people were saying weren't as upset as I thought they should have been. Regardless if you believe he did or not, that's different. If you say, oh, Sean, I don't believe he did it, so I'm not going to react right away, okay, fine. But when some people believe he did it and literally didn't think it was a big deal, one, that's the stupid and disgusting to say. Again, it was supposed to be going to helping poor families. But it brought up a thing to me. I saw someone tweet about it, and I already had this in my mind, so I knew I was going to talk about it for a little bit here on this Jack of All Plays episode 3 podcast. It's crazy to me that people, but it's not surprising that people were furious that Colin Kaepernick, former quarterback in NFL, took a knee to basically stand up and speak out against police brutality against unarmed black men and women. He took a knee. He explained why he took a knee, and everyone was fucking furious and wanted to NFL get rid of him and all this, everything. You would know where you know who you are. You know where you were when that day happened, and he spoke out every single week when he was taking a knee. Everyone was doing all the. You know who you are that was upset because you're clowns who, for some reason, did not understand what he was doing. But people were fierce about that. But they're okay. The same people that are fierce against him were the same, or people that are okay with Brett Favre taking money from people that needed that money. Make it make sense. You can't. Obviously, people make that statement. It's a rhetorical statement. Like, you can't. You can't make it make sense. Like, this is why people say, a lot of you know who you are, move the goalposts for certain people and athletes or whatever you want to say. It just doesn't make sense. You hate on Colin Kaepernick for taking a knee, and you wanted him banned from the NFL, anything that got anything to do with the NFL, you didn't want him part of it, but you're okay with former quarterback Brett Favre who I'm not a fan of at all, you're okay with him taking money from people that needed the money to go to his daughter's soccer's program. And again, I know some people say this is, for some people it might just be speculation, but if they're out there, it just, to me it just seems weird saying speculation because there's text revealing this. If there's text out there saying that him and the former Mississippi governor was plotting this or doing this, I refuse to believe that he did not know this is welfare money, and that he didn't, or he believed he didn't do nothing wrong. But make it make sense. You can't. It just absolutely makes no sense how people act like people just switch up and choose when to be angry about certain things. There's clearly right and wrong for a lot of things, dude. Colin Kaepernick taking a knee to fight against police brutality is not, in the racial shit going on around this world today, even today, is not wrong. Brett Favre or whoever you want to, it don't have to even be a Brett Favre, but a person taking money from welfare money or any government money, whatever you want to say, for families that need it, that's freaking wrong. But again, people, the society, man, the world we live in is very weird. Kansas City Chiefs hold on against Los Angeles Chargers 27-24. Week 2 of the NFL season kicked off on Thursday when the 1-0 Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers, was on the road against the 1-0 Chiefs. Going into this game, I definitely thought this was more important for Justin Herbert, the quarterback for the Los Angeles Chargers, and like I said, also for the Chargers as a team in general, because we know who the Chiefs are, man. To me, the Kansas City Chiefs are the Golden State Warriors of the NFL. And what I mean by that is they count them. Yeah, you can say San Antonio Spurs, and a lot of people thought the Spurs wasn't going to contend or win games or stuff like that, and they just literally slide under the radar as they go. I mean, everyone's going to always talk about Patrick Mahomes because Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, is very, very, very good. I believe he's on the way to be a future Hall of Famer. I know that's way down the line, but Patrick Mahomes is great. I don't know why I said good. The man is very, very great. It just gets better as soon as the year goes by. But he did struggle last year, so I guess I'm going to say year. But he's very good. So, yeah, going to this game, the Los Angeles Chargers, and the reason why I say it to me was important because the Chargers had to prove that they can not just hang, but beat the Kansas City. And because once playoff time and the games really start to amp up, maybe like week 9, week 10, week 11, just later in the season, when these games start to matter, and this is a divisional game for the AFC West. This is the Kansas City Chiefs and Los Angeles Chargers. I have the Chargers as not really a sleeper Super Bowl pick as far as making it. I really do have these dudes like making a lot of noise this season. And so going into this game, I was like, dude, they gotta, really step forward and really show. Even though it's early in the year, it's only week 2, I really thought it was important that the Chargers, beat Kansas City, even though it's in Kansas City. I thought this game was very important for the Chargers. Now, the game starting off, I got in my notes, it started as what I was watching. It started well for the Chargers, going up 10-0 early in the second quarter. And then it was up 17-7 in the third quarter. Again, like Kansas City Chiefs, though, you don't count anyone out, especially Kansas City. They came back, though, and tied the game 17-17 in the fourth quarter. So someone's going to have to make a big play from either side. Somebody, Justin Herbert or Patrick Mahomes, or maybe the defense. Someone's going to have to make a big play to definitely take this game over. It was it was low scoring. I guess I'm going to say, because Chargers defense is good. Kansas City's defense is iffy at times, but they could be good. It's weird. I definitely thought more points would be scored, though, by the time we got to the fourth quarter. Maybe like 24-24, but I guess I'm probably putting too much respect on the offenses versus these defenses. But again, it was tied 17-17 in the fourth quarter. The biggest play did happen when the Chargers was at the Chiefs' 1-yard line. The Chargers, if anything, they couldn't get anything, possibly got to get a field goal to go up 20-17. But they was at the Chiefs' 1-yard line. I think it was 2nd and goal or 3rd and goal. And Justin Herbert threw an interception. It was a terrible throw. He threw an interception that was returned 99 yards by a Chiefs defender. I think it was a cornerback, defensive back, or whatever. He returned it 99 yards. You talk about a game-changing momentum play right there. Because anything, the Chargers, if they don't get a touchdown and they decide to go for a field goal, whatever, they at least go up 20-17. Obviously, you're giving the ball back to Patrick Mahomes with plenty of time left, so who knows? Obviously, he can make stuff happen. But to throw an interception and then return 99 yards, that had to just take everything out of the Chargers' sales, man. That is just such a deflating, demoralizing play. That really sucks. To give up a 99-yard touchdown. Like I said, not even just throwing an interception down at the 1 yard line of your opponent's 1 yard line, but to completely give up a 99-yard return it's insane. You don't see that every day in NFL. Then later in the game, the Chiefs did end up kicking a field goal to go up 27-17. And the Chargers did score a touchdown, I think, with a minute 15 left, but it didn't matter in the end. So so the Chiefs did go on to win 27-24, and like I said, they did hold on. But yeah, that loss again. I won't sit here and say because they lost in Kansas City, the Chargers overrated. But again, it does kind of make you just pump the brakes because it's like, damn, I really want the Chargers to make the playoffs. I like the Chargers team. It's Eagles all day behind me, but I do like the Chargers team. I really do think they got a really good team if they can stay healthy and all this stuff. And I think they got a solid chance to make some noise in the playoffs. But if situations like this happens where they're running into, and they can learn from this loss. It's not like, again, there was plenty of chances they had to win this game. There was some questionable calls. Patrick Mahomes was not his MVP type self. I don't care what anyone says. He had like 3 or 4 throws that should have been intercepted. I think a few of them was called back that clearly looked like interceptions. So, I mean, there's a lot of things the Chargers can take away from this game as far as positives, and even the negatives as far as the stuff that shot themselves in the foot. These are the games they got to win. Like I said, it's early, but you've got to win these games, dude, when you have a chance to step on Kansas City's throat and really show that, listen, we're coming for this division title. Because, again, that division is ridiculous. Kansas City, the Los Angeles Chargers, Denver Broncos, and the Las Vegas Raiders. Like, it's absolutely, that division is insane. I will not be surprised if 3 teams make it to the playoffs, regarding the 17 spots out of that division. That division is insane. So games like this are important. Even though it's early, right now, Kansas City has a tiebreaker on the Chargers. So, again, if you're the Chargers, you got to start, man, making more. You got to have more statement wins when it comes to going against your division rival. Like I said, Kansas City did win 27-24. They are now 2-0, and the Chargers dropped to 1-1. There's one thing that happened during this game that got a lot of people, including myself, a little worried. Nothing crazy's come out yet, but so let's get into it. Los Angeles Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert fractured his rib. Franchise quarterback Justin Herbert fractured his rib. Chargers did announce that during the game, quarterback Justin Herbert did suffer a fractured rib cartilage in his day-to-day. They haven't ruled him out for next week or anything like that, or saying he's out for extended period of time. Like I said, it did say it is day-to-day, so they're monitoring it and all this other stuff. But yeah, it sucks, man. I really hope he's okay because I do have Justin Herbert as an MVP candidate. Like I just told you guys from that long rant that a second ago, that I do believe the Chargers can be a good team, a team that can make a deep run in the playoffs and all that stuff. And so I hope Justin Herbert's okay because, like I said, I do believe the Chargers have a real shot to be contenders this year. Moving on, you guys, to the college football. Going forward, upsets that did happen yesterday. Number 13, Miami Hurricanes lost 17-9 to number 24, Texas A&M. I think they was 2-0. Miami Hurricanes lost to the 17-9 to number 24, Texas A&M. Again, Miami Hurricanes was on the road. I know some people will say, well, Sean, it's not an upset because it's a ranked team, Texas A&M, the Aggies. It's SEC team, so I mean it's not really that shocking. Maybe some people, but I'm only bringing this up to it's upset because, as I said, they're 13, the top 15 in the country, and there was so many expectations coming from Miami Hurricanes this year. And I want to just say right now, I wrote this on my tablet. Can we please stop hyping up the Hurricanes? Dude, everyone keeps saying Miami is back, the U is back, and all this shit. Can we please stop doing this? Either they fold early in the season, as we're seeing right now, or they fold late in the season when it really matters. The season's wind down and it matters. Please stop hyping up the Hurricanes, dude. I'm so tired of hearing about these dudes coming to year, how they could be the sleeper team to win ACC, a sleeper team that could possibly make the college football playoffs. I'm not saying their season's completely over, but losing that game, they did not look impressive at all when I watched it. Again, 17-9. I know you're on the road. I know the hostile crowd and Texas A&M and all that Aggie Nation shit, but dude, they did not look impressive at all, dude. It was just disappointing to watch the game. As far as, like I said, all these experts, like analysts, I keep saying that Miami's coming. And no, can we just please stop hyping up Miami, dude? Please. I think that at this point, I would not just stop ranking them. Stop coming with any expectations. Let the local college newspaper talk about them. There's no reason to hype up Miami every year, these last few years or whatever, because they don't show up when it matters. This is a statement type game. Even like I said, you're on the road. It's not easy to win on the road in college football. I'm not saying that, but dude, especially going up against SEC team, but man, like these are the statement games you got to make. Like Penn State yesterday. Penn State ranked number 22. They was on the road against unranked Auburn, but again, that's an SEC opponent. You got to make a statement win, and I think the Nittany Lions won like 38-17 or 41-20, whatever the score was. But that's like a statement type win. You're on the road against undefeated SEC team. You got to go in there and shut that crowd up, and that's what you got to do. Miami did not do that, man. They 17-9, man. They just couldn't. I think they had 4 trips to the red zone. They got inside Texas A&M's 20 like 4 times and couldn't get anything. I think they got like 3 field goals, got 9 points. But just could not score a single touchdown. They had plenty of chances to take control of that game, and they just did not do it. Last upset I did see you guys was number 11, Michigan State. The Spartans lost 39-28 to the unranked Washington Huskies. Don't got much to say on Michigan State. They do play in the Big Ten with Ohio State, Michigan and them dudes. Yeah, I don't know. Michigan State is a weird team to me. I didn't have much hopes for them either. But again, they ranked in the number 11, and they lost 39-28. It was a convincing loss. Like, it wasn't like it was close and it got ugly. No, Washington looked like the better team from the beginning of the game to the end of it, for what I've seen, what I saw. So, yeah, Michigan State, those are the 2 upsets that happened. There was obviously other games that happened throughout this week, but those 2 was the one that standed out because of those losses and how close to 11 and 13. Like I said, 11 Michigan State Spartans and the 13 Miami Hurricanes. I don't know where they possibly will drop them, but as far as the wins, a lot of teams are going to move up, and some teams might obviously move down. But those are the 2 upsets that happened yesterday. Again, I'm just happy college football, man, is back. It's amazing. We're already about to be in week 3, though. The season's moving way too fast for me. And the last thing you guys to go over here is the Major League Baseball standings. Again, if you watch my past 2 episodes of got my phone out here of Jack of All Plays here of my podcast, you could clearly see the some shift, tons of shifts going on in the AL wild card. It constantly changes. It seems like one moment Seattle Mariners is number 1 as far as the wild card spot, then the Tampa Bay Rays controls it for a few days, and here comes Toronto Blue Jays all of a sudden. It's just crazy. It's crazy. But let me go over the standings here. Over for the AL leaders, obviously, the team that's still been number 1 for a minute, the Houston Astros with 95 wins and 51 losses. The New York Yankees are 87-58. Like I tell you guys, I still believe the Tampa Bay Rays is going to catch them. But it seems like recently the Yankees their hitters have shown up. Aaron Judge is still fucking Aaron Judge. I think he's close to being a Triple Crown winner. For this season, but we'll see about. But regardless, New York's kind of up and down. Like I said, they're 6-4 when I'm seeing their last 10 games. They're on a 2-game losing streak though, as I'm reading this. So that's not good. But still, the Yankees sort of like they figured it out. I don't know, man. They're a very weird top team at this point. And as far as the 3 seed would go, the Cleveland Guardians are 79 wins and 66 losses. They've won 3 straight. Over in the AL wild card, the Toronto Blue Jays are now the number 1 team in the wild card with 83 wins and 63 losses. They're on a 2-game winning streak. They've won 7 of their last 10, 7-3 in their last 10 games. And like Toronto, I already came in the season believing in it, and obviously this is late in the season to talk about this, but I really thought Toronto was going to be very good. To see them struggling the way they were and barely holding on to a wild card spot was very strange to me. But it seemed like I said they're doing their thing. Like I said, the last 10 games, they won 7 of them. They seem like they're definitely figuring it out. The team that holds the second wild card spot is the Tampa Bay Rays with 81 wins and 64 losses. They're 4-6 in their last 10 games. I think they was up and down with the Yankees, which really put them in that situation. Like I said, Tampa Bay is the second. And third is the Seattle Mariners with 80 wins and 64 losses. They're 4-6 in their last 10 games. They just lost their second straight game to the Los Angeles Angels for that series. which is to me. I know the Angels have Ohtani and Mike Trout and all them dudes, but these are the games that the Mariners got to start winning, man. They do usually. I'm not saying like they suck against teams that are below 500, but they got to understand, man. The Angels are playing spoiler baseball at this point, dude. At this point they just want to ruin the playoff chances for Seattle or any team they run into that is trying to make the playoffs. So Seattle got to start taking care of business with those teams. The good news is though that the Baltimore Oilers, Oilers that they're 79 wins, 69 losses, and they've lost 2 straight. And the reason why that's good news is because for Seattle and Tampa Bay and teams that are losing games, whatever, in that wild card spot, that they're still 5 games up on Baltimore. So those losses, even though you want them to win, obviously in Seattle, the Mariners, it doesn't kill them, like I said, because they still have a comfortable lead with Baltimore and the Chicago White Sox and them type of teams trailing at this point. So that is as far as you guys with the AL. As far as an NL side, again, we don't even need to talk about this or far who the best team in baseball is. It's clearly the Los Angeles Dodgers over in the National League. They have it held throughout baseball in general. They already have 100 wins, only 44 losses, 8-2 in their last 10 games. Los Angeles is just a fucking dominant team, man. Already 100 wins. Jesus Christ. They've already clinched a playoff spot, all that good stuff. Man, I think they've been clinched a playoff spot before they got to 100. But right now, Los Angeles, could just chill and just wait till the playoffs to start, man. Obviously, they are heavy favorites, as they should be. The New York Mets with 92 are in the second spot. Their second seed right now would be with 92 wins and 55 losses. They're on a 3-game winning streak. And the St. Louis Cardinals, who to me a lot of people are not talking about. I mean, I know obviously they're local, network and all that stuff. Fans they're talking about, but now people talking about St. Louis. They're a good team. They got 87 wins and 60 losses. They've been winners of their last 3. Over in the wild card, National League wild card, you have the Atlanta Braves with 90 wins, 55 losses. They're basically up 10.5 games over the other 2 teams in Philly and San Diego who are trying to get to that number 1 wild card spot. It's hilarious to have 90 wins and literally be a wild card team, but that's just good how their division is when you look at the team in front of them, which I just said a second ago was the New York Mets, who has 92 wins. Yes, the Atlanta Braves with 90 wins and 55 losses. The Philadelphia Phillies, who have lost 3 straight, they are 80 wins and 65 losses, but they're still holding on to the wild card spot. And then the San Diego Padres with 80 wins and 66 losses. Winners, 2 straight wins. Like I said, they hold the last final third, whatever you want to say, wild card spot for the National League. The team behind them, the only team that really has a chance at this point, as far as when you look at the numbers, is the Milwaukee Brewers with 78 wins and 67 losses. They're a game and a half back from the San Diego Padres trying to get that final wild card spot. Every other team in the National League, I mean, they're good. They're not, like I said, the San Francisco Giants, Arizona Diamondbacks, and the Colorado Rockies haven't been officially eliminated, but it just seems like it's inevitable at this point that the wild card teams we are going to get is Atlanta. For the National League, is Atlanta, Philly, and San Diego. There's really the only thing is you can ask is what spot these teams are going to be in by the time the Major League Baseball playoffs start, which I can't wait because I'm going to talk about that and everything. It's going to be fun to watch. Season is definitely winding down. I think we got like 3-4 weeks left, but I don't know. Should have wrote that down. Should know. But my point is, the playoff race has been fun to watch. Yeah. So that is it, you guys. As far as Jack of all plays here, I'm going to do my tab and make sure there's nothing else. Again, this was episode 3 of my podcast, Jack of all plays. Again, I appreciate support. Again, I'm bumping these out every Sunday. I know there's probably some other things I could have talked about regarding NBA, the NFL, and baseball. But again, those are the just main things I like to talk about, or stuff that I want to go over. So again, you guys, this was episode 3, Jack of all plays. It's been your boy Shaw Bellamy. I am out. Peace.